playing tonight that are not here yet, and I don't know if it's stage fright or a problem at home or whatever, but we'll get started anyway. And for you that have come to watch, thank you very much for coming. We enjoy what we're doing tonight, I presume, children. And we're just so glad that you came. There'll be 18 on the program tonight. I also teach some ladies, and there will be 2 of them that will be on the program tonight. The rest of them will not be, and they have maybe more difficulty performing in public than some of the young people do. For some of the young people, this will be their first time tonight, and then for others, it will be many times that they have performed. But before we get started, I would like to have you look at the back of your sheet. And on the back of your sheet, you will see 24 ways or in a row of learning how to play the piano. And so we're going to have a quick music lesson before the students start. And if you look at number 1 on the back of your sheet, it says that they need to know the alphabet forwards and backwards through G, from A through G. Music only goes through G, and you start over again at A. And if they're too young for that, we can go by finger numbers and then catch up a little bit as they learn that. Number 2, they need to find middle C, and some of you know how to find middle C, some of you are not real sure about it. But generally in the middle of the piano there's a name, unless your piano's been painted. And there's generally a name, and then you will find middle C. And then if you go up in the alphabet, you go C, D, E, F, G, A. And then if you're going down, you do the alphabet backwards, C, B, A, G, F. And so the children, that's why they need to learn to know the alphabet backwards. And so they start with middle C, and then they learn D, that's the one above it, and then they learn B. And when they've got that done, they can learn a song. And it would go something like this. Now, isn't that fine? And they've only got 3 notes. And so right at the beginning of when they start taking lessons, they have something that they can accomplish. Then number 3 on your list is that they need to learn the counting. Of 4/4, 3/4, and 2/4 time are the basic times that they have. And the 4/4 time means that there's 4 counts in each measure. The 3/4 time means that there's 3 counts in each measure. And the 2/4 times means that there's 2 counts in each measure. And so the young ones have to put fingers on the piano, and they have to count at the same time. They better not chew gum, I keep telling them. They just couldn't manage all that. Then number 4, they understand the counting value of notes. We have a quarter note that gets 1 count. We have a half note that gets 2, a dotted half that gets 3, and a whole note that gets 4 counts, and they need to learn that. Then number 5, they place their 5 in a 5-finger position on the piano, starting with both thumbs on middle C. Thumbs are number 1, and you go out this way, and this little pinky out here is number 5. And so they would put finger number 1 on the piano, and then they would go out until they can't go out any further. And that's their 5-finger hand position. Now, by the time they have done that, number 6 says that you practice your new lesson and review former pieces. They start out maybe practicing 10 minutes a day, and then they go to 15 and 20, and then they go up from that as it gets more difficult. But on the new lesson, they should practice that. So that's what we call sweating. When they have a new lesson, that is the hard work. And then as they review their former pieces, this is what's fun for them, because they know the pieces, they know how they go, and they just do it for enjoyment. Number 7, you play 1 hand at a time when you first begin. And so they would start with something like this. That's in a 5-finger hand position, and they can accomplish that. Then, number 8, they would play 2 hands together. Have to stretch beyond the 5-finger position, and the next part of that song has going a whole octave, and they have to learn to stretch that 5-finger position. Then they need to understand syncopation, because you know that happy birthday does not go like that. It goes like, and that's syncopation. Then you've got something that sounds like the P's. And so they have to learn that. Then in number 11, they can get 2-note chords in each hand. They can put 2 fingers together. And when they start as young ones and you put 2 fingers together, they think it's almost impossible to do. But after they've been taking a lesson, why, each of these things come and they progress on that. And so they can do 2 notes. And then it begins to sound more like a chord fitting together. Now number 12, they learn Italian words and definitions. Music is written in Italian. Medicine is written in Latin and music is written in Italian. And they have a lot of words that they need to learn. Forte means loud, piano means soft, and numerous ones that they would have to learn that way. And up in the left-hand corner of music and the right-hand corner of music, it would give some of the ideas of how they want you to play that, how the author wanted you to play that particular song. So they knew that they need to learn that. Then number 13, they need to learn recognized key signatures. There are different keys. You have C and then D flat and then D and E flat and E and F. And so each chord has can be played in a different key signature, and so they learn to recognize that as they have taken for a little while. Then number 14, they are able to transpose music by fingering. As they watch what the finger numbers are, they can take a piece in C and they can put it up in the key of F, or they can put it in the key of G by merely watching what the finger numbers are. Then number 15, they need to play with different hand positions then as they have learned the different keys. Then they can move up and down and play it so it would be high or low. Then number 16, I take them in a complete different direction at this point when they have mastered the right hand and the left hand and the chords, putting 2 notes together, and I teach the music theory. It is not really popular to teach that today, but really it's the only way to be able to play maybe easily and quickly and to get it accomplished. So I take them in number 16 to master the chords in both hands. And there is a major chord that you play like this, and then there's a minor chord. You can hear the difference, and there's a 6th chord, and there's a 7th chord, and there's a 9th chord, and there's a diminished chord, and there's an augmented chord. Because those are the chords that you learn in music. Then, at number 17, they begin using the chords in their left hand as they would play. Then, number 19, they have the ability to transpose music by the key changes. They're not watching finger numbers anymore, but they're transposing actually by watching what the chords change because they've learned the chord theory. Then number 20, they are going to accompany singers and musicians. When you play for somebody and accompany, the accompanist hardly ever plays what the musician is doing. If it's a instrument, the instrument has a solo part, and if they're singing, the singer has the solo part, and the accompanist usually does not play their parts. And if you know chords, it's easy to do that. So in your head now, I want you to hum to yourself, "Happy Birthday." And then I will be the accompanist, and I will play nothing that you're singing. But if we do it right, it should all come out together in the end, okay? Now here's your note. Got it? You're just going to hum it in your head. So here we go. Okay, good. That's what we're supposed to do. Then number 21, they have the ability to sight read music. That would be that I would take a piece and I would put it up in front of them and they would be able to play it probably 95% correct without ever having seen it before. And as we train our children to play in local churches, oftentimes that's what happens if you're playing for congregational singing. Sometimes the pages are written there for you and you can get a little head start. Sometimes they're not. And so whoever's leading the singing says we're open to page 378, and you open it and you start. And so maybe you know it and maybe you don't. But as they progress, then they are able to do that. Then number 22, they're able to play arrangements of musical selections, not just the plain happy birthday, but they can do something with it. Or they can make it like this. Understanding the classics. All people that write music have to use the music theory circle that I teach. And as the young people gain a position where they can learn the classics, they find out that these same chords that I have taught them in the very easy pieces are exactly what the authors have had to do when they've written their music. They all have to use the chord theory. And it all fits together, and certain chords have certain notes in them, and that would be a way then that they could enjoy the classics rather than just fighting through them if they understand the chord system. Then number 24, they can use improvisation in music. They can make it do what they want to. And it would be still the basic piece, but yet they could add to it. And so Happy Birthday would come out something like this. For the young people and our two young ladies to start. Now, if you're going to perform tonight, you need to know that all these people that are here love you, and I don't want you to be frightened of them. Doesn't it look ominous, this crowd here? But they are here because they want to hear what you have done, and we want to get you so that you will enjoy doing that. You might be a little bit nervous. Your mouth will get dry, your tongue will seem too big for your mouth. Your hands will get sweaty, your knees will knock. You will get up there and you'll open your book and you'll think, I have never seen this piece before in my life. But you really have, and so you need to get over that as you go up there. And so we'll have you kind of go in order. I hope you each have a program so that you can see when you come on. And I might stop you someplace along the way and make a couple of comments. But after one leaves the piano, then you can come up. You can adjust the music, and you can adjust the bench so that maybe you're not, wow, like that. And if you go from a young little one to a bigger one. But, and we want to be sure that you don't play it too fast. If it's a hymn, you're going to play it through twice. And so sometimes there might be just a little bit of stopping between the first time through and the second time through. And so they might start applauding and you're not done yet. Well, just hurry and get to the second time through, okay? But don't play it so fast. You have worked so hard on this music, and we want to enjoy it. And I know that when you're nervous, you want to just get it out of the way, just as fast as you can. But don't do it. Don't play it too fast. Let us enjoy that. And some of this music will be last week's lesson. Some of it will be something that is just a little bit hard for them that I've given to them. Some of them might be something that they're going to do in mini regionals or regionals. And so they will know, but you will not necessarily know, so we want you to just enjoy it. Okay, number one. wasn't that? Oh, my, I really thought about that one. She's only had 20 lessons, I think. And so some of them that are playing tonight had about 23, 24, 25 lessons. Some of them have taken about 4 years. And so you can see, as I've taught you a little bit about how they progress, what they're doing. Some of them are just one finger, and some of them have all the chords. Now, it's time for you all to just stand up. Oh, won't that feel good? Yes. Now this is the lady that plays the other Tuesday at the Recital.
Lacey, first piece, I want you to notice the bells that the piano can make.
There's a lot of different instruments, a lot of different sounds that the piano can sound like, and so as she plays Alberta bells, I want you to hear the bells. Okay, now students, you have lessons Wednesday and Thursday of this week. Next week is your vacation time, so be sure that you're there this Wednesday and Thursday. We'll talk about tonight and see how well you did. Well, everybody, we said we'd be out at 8:30. I think I have 8:27, and so you're all excused.